This is Leo Low from Asia Pop Tech, bringing you Hong Kong's innovative ideas to our biggest urban challenge. Hong Kong is famous for international trade and finance investment. Because of this, the city is very urbanized. It has more than 7 million residents in a little more than 400 square miles, and 100% of the population lives in urban areas. Hong Kong is a small city with much population, so to make matters worse, Hong Kong's terrain is mostly hilly and has steep slopes. Also, about 40% of Hong Kong's land is designated as country park to provide habitats for biological species. Due to these reasons, the actual amount of developable flat land in Hong Kong is very limited, making its population density the fourth greatest in the world. Also, because of Hong Kong's status as an international trade hub, many Chinese and foreign investors invest in Hong Kong's property market. Because of this, Hong Kong has long been suffering from a housing shortage and high sales and rental prices. According to property consultancy firm, Hong Kong is the priciest city in the world to buy a property, with an average price of $1.25 million. Hong Kong is also the third most expensive city to rent, with an average monthly rent of about $2,600, coming after New York and Abu Dhabi. To overcome Hong Kong's housing crisis, Hong Kongers have been using their creative minds to come up with different innovative solutions. A Hong Kong architect, for example, Mr. James Law, came up with an idea in 2018 to build an outdoor concrete trip named Old Port, which he aimed to rent out at a very low price to young people struggling to afford housing. The prototype of Old Port is in Kwun Tong in East Kowloon, Hong Kong. These trips can be stacked on the top of each other to form a building and can also be relocated to different sites, so it's very responsive and adaptive. Since the trips are made of concrete water pipes, they can also help in reducing construction waste. With the cost of materials and construction costs of the Old Port much lower than the traditional brick and mortar housing, this alternative housing is a creative way to save both the construction resources and the fees. With limited land with potential to develop, we have also set our eyes on some non-traditional place for housing. Say Hong Kong Task Force on Land Supply has suggested building housing estates at the container port site. That is Kwai Chung Container Port, which is about 383 hectares large, to provide homes for several 100,000 people. If we build high-rise apartment buildings at the port, it is not only good for the provision of more houses, but it's also good to eliminate light and noise pollution at the port, as the new high-rise buildings will block the lights and noises from Ching Yi. The officials found this idea feasible, and the port operators also expressed that they are open to this creative idea, but there has yet been a feasibility study. Also, there should be underground works, including rerouting the electronic wires, cables without obstructing the daily operation of the port to make this vision possible. Hong Kong people are trying their best to think of the optimal solutions for a better quality of life in this cramped, expensive city. So will Hong Kong's housing issue be solved in the future? Nobody knows. But as much as we love the city, we are certainly trying to do so.